Yarr! Welcome to Q Corner Live, Pirate Edition with Bad Eye Bill.
Yeah, not quite. I'm just waiting for a small operation on my eye, so I'm wearing the eye patch at the moment. Yay!
He likes the eye watch.
Never mind.
iPhone,
Yeah. Oh yeah, eye patch.
eye patch.
Oh no, that's terrible, Dom.
The
Terrible.
The other products, you don't have to be an Apple fan.
Yeah,
for
it's
an
no,
eye patch.
it's an Apple eye patch. The,
Nice. Normal ones are like 50 cents. These ones are $500.
You're ridiculous. You know that. Anyway,
Says you with the eye patch on.
welcome to Q Corner Showtime Live.
Yay!
This is the personalization edition.
Personalization, not Pirate Edition.
No,
Don't
it's
accept
all
copies.
about personalization. So we're going to be talking about personalization on latex, on foil, on bubbles, using
Glitter, glue pens and glitter, vinyl,
just normal markers as well,
combinations as well.
and other opportunities that we might have with personalization.
Yes, so stick with us for the show. It's going to be a good one.
But before that, we have this.
Hey!
Hello, guys. Welcome to Q Corner.
Welcome to our store.
Yeah, we're in the workshop today.
Once again.
This is really doing my head in already, I have to say.
Didn't think it would last that long.
I don't think it's you know what?
Yarr.
I'm gonna brave it, and I'm just gonna do without it. Okay, here we go.
Plus, you were starting to sound like a farmer rather than a pirate. It was
No,
a,
that's R.
it was
Not
a ooh-ar.
R, not yar.
Yes.
Hello, guys. I can see we got. Oh, we're looking forward to today's show. Thanks, Eye Candy Balloons. You crack us up too.
We are looking forward to today. We have been, because it's our preferred subject.
It is personalisation of balloons.
Yay!
I just remembered that as well, that we need to grab something on display from the store later on while we're doing this as an idea. But
Do you?
no, forget about that. We're moving on. We're moving on.
I'm just while we're talking, going to check our audio levels. Just while we're talking. Okay, we're looking good.
We're looking good. You can all hear us. Yay!
If you can't hear us,
Excellent.
let us know.
We've been looking forward to this one, and we were asked to do this particular one. We get questions about it all the time because anybody that's been to our classes know that we really push the personalisation on balloons.
Absolutely, because it's just that added value.
Yep, it is the extra sale.
It's the unique selling point to us and businesses like us that we can offer something that your normal multiple retailer cannot. So that's great. It gives a reason for the customer to come in and see us, but it also gives us that upsell opportunity.
You've already made the sale.
Yeah.
And then it's like, would you like to personalise? And of course you would like to personalise.
Can we extract some more money out of you, Mr. Customer?
Exactly.
Oh, yes, we
And
can.
it's one of these things that we're providing a service that they really want because they want it to be more personal to the recipient.
Yep. And
or
how
to
often
them.
have you been to one of those kind of tourist places where they have that big spinner stand with all those names on, and you're like so excited, you want to see it, and you go,
Exactly, but they don't have my name because, or they don't have my child's name or whatever because it's it's not a common name. So
there's only so much space on one of those stands.
with the way that we do things now, we can personalise pretty much anything.
Unlimited opportunity, any name, any spelling combination. We've seen it all. So yes.
Thank you for joining with us.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're going to keep this to under an hour. We're going to aim for 45 minutes, guys. We don't know. It's up to you guys. If you have any burning questions, please type it in the chat. We will do our best to answer all of your questions.
We'll try and see them first, and then we'll try and respond to them the best we can.
So, first of all, the simplest personalization is Sharpie markers.
Well, this is what we started off with, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Because for those that know us, we were originally entertainers.
Yeah.
And did a lot of balloon twisting. And the little bits of personalisation from little features, eyes, faces.
Writing a message, whatever.
Yeah, that the good old Sharpie marker is an absolute must.
So, and also as well as like making faces. Yes, the smiley face balloons, whatever. It's not a good face.
I never said it was. I said it was a face.
It's very true. It was a face. So we can do smiley faces. We can do all sorts. We can do messages. I love you and things. When we used to do.
You're doing well. Carry on.
Yeah, you enjoy your cup of tea. There, I'll talk about this.
I made you one.
It is.
It's a little hot.
So with a Sharpie marker, it's a permanent marker. We can write on there simply, and we can do any message. We can do faces. If you're artistic, I seen some the other day where people have been painting on the balloons, some 3-footers. They looked absolutely incredible, very unique, and very easy to sell, and makes them special. We also, if the problem that we have with Sharpie markers is when the balloon comes down.
Yes.
Because it's absolutely fine, and the pen stays on there absolutely fine until the balloon comes down. When the balloon comes down, it shrinks up, and the ink, it kind of almost reactivates.
It does, yeah. I mean, Sharpie's probably one of the best ones out there in the permanent marker lineup.
Yeah.
Other permanent markers, kind of your generic and I want to say the cheaper versions, they go on fantastic. They're extremely permanent in its inflated state. But as soon as that goes down ever so slightly, as Keith says, as it shrinks, the ink kind of
almost reactivates, isn't it?
Ripples
It's like,
up.
Yeah, it's like powders.
Too much ink for the area that it's covering, and it becomes active again, and you touch it, it's all over your fingers, it's all over your clothes,
All that.
and it's can make a mess very quickly.
So what we can do, we need this one. What we can do against that is use things like these. Now these are paint markers. So this came in a pack of different colours, and these ones are more permanent. So let's see, we haven't used these ones for a while because we don't tend to use this type of personalisation too much anymore. So with this one, it is a paint, and the you can also use, as a cheaper alternative, you can use grout markers.
Grout or tile markers. It's the ones you'll find in like a hardware store, and they're designed for when you're trying to revamp the grout that goes between the tiles to kind of freshen it up, or add a particular colour to it as well. Available in most reasonable sized kind of trade.
Yeah, like the DIY players, the hardware stores.
That was the word I was looking for.
Hardware stores. So with these ones, we can draw on like normal. The thing is with them is that when it's dry, and we let the balloon down, it doesn't reactivate. So it becomes permanent, and it's almost to the point that you can let them down, and then you can reinflate them, and it will still remain the same.
You do need to make sure though that each colour dries before you try to put another colour over the top of it, because they do have a tendency to kind of mix and become very sticky. But if you allow it to dry, you can then kind of put other colours over the top of it, so you can create some cool layering with that as well.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with how strong they are, because most of these are a solvent-based marker, so it can actually attack the balloon. You can get certain ones that are water-based, but the solvent-based ones, you can tell by these ones are solvent-based, but as long as it's not too strong, it won't attack the balloons.
Test it first. So do your best work, then start drawing on it.
Exactly, and don't buy a massive pack of the same things and then find out that those ones are no good for the balloons.
I always remember one of the tips that Robbie gave us, Robbie Furman.
Oh yeah.
For drawing the eyes.
Oh yes. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Good idea.
Good idea. So drawing on a balloon. Exactly. So drawing on a balloon. Let's just do this and do this. Kind of doing some sort of animal, I think, here. It's a snout.
I thought it was the eyes.
The eyes. Could be the eyes. Pikachu.
Yeah.
How'd you get 250 Pikachus on a bus?
Your Pokemon.
Oh dear. Right. Anyway, as we said, Robbie taught us is if you're wanting to draw two eyes or two circles the same size and get them closer. What you need to do, because normally what happens is you draw one, then you draw the second one, and it's a bit bigger than the first one, so you go back and you do a bit more, and then it keeps going back until you've got two giant eyes. We don't want that. So what we want to do is we want to try and...
That's why the kids are always disappointed
Yeah.
with my giant animal eyes.
Yeah, it's like kawaii eyes.
Yeah.
Kawaii.
No, mister.
The eyes are big enough. So with this, what we do is we put our finger on the balloon. You'll notice I'm left-handed. It's not mirrored. I am left-handed. It's because I'm in my right mind.
Incorrect way.
So we put our finger on there, and then we make this circular motion to make our eye, our circle for our eye. And that gets that. Now, normally what you do is you go across here and you would do this and it would all go horribly wrong. But what you do is you have your finger and you get used to that circular motion of this size. Then, instead of moving your hand, you turn the balloon round and you put your finger on there and then you do the same action.
No pressure on getting that eye.
I know. I'm trying my best. But you do the same action and it helps you, it doesn't always work, but it helps you get them more... to be the same size, more consistent.
Because that's reaching over the balloon. It does change the way your hand is positioned, and you do find that varying size that you always try to rectify.
So that's markers on latex, but we also use them on. Coming straight back.
Yay! Here he is.
The foil, the horse with a barcode. Or a zebra, or if you're
Americanese.
If you're American, it's a zebra.
Which is the incorrect way. Just
Okay. It's zebra. It's Deborah's zebra, not Deborah's zebra.
We're broadcasting from the UK, so it's a zebra.
Exactly. So with this one, another good friend of ours showed us this technique. We did it for. They're trying to make it as hard as possible. I'm left-handed, and you're going to get me going there. So Jodie White. She did a design for back in Spring Fair 2000, where the animal heads just came out, and we wanted male ones and we wanted female animals all the way around. So what she did was she took the normal one and she put an eyelid across here, and she put an eyelid across here too.
Focusing on the eyes a lot today, Keith.
Yes. And then what we do is we put some eyelashes up here. And I'm going to try and do the same on this side.
Taxing your ability to get them the same by this angle. However, I'm prepared.
You try to make it as difficult as you can for me, Dom. I don't mind. It's so, which gives you eyes and eyelashes. And then what we can do is we can take another Sharpie.
So that's with
this
the
one.
upgrade. That is the original side.
The original side, and then the female side with those. And then what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to take another Sharpie marker and I'm just going to add some colour to one side so you get the idea. Now we've upgraded this since, and we started doing it with vinyl so that we can upgrade our all of our animals to be the female kind, and we can do different coloured eye shadow, eyelids, whatever. So I'll leave it like that, and there we go. You can see. Yes, Linda did go around showing that as well, and she learned it from the same place that we did with Jodie White. So
sharing is caring.
We're going away with that one. So that's pens.
He's not trained. He's not well behaved.
Okay, he's gone back to his pen.
Yeah.
So we're going to get rid of our pens. We don't need our pens anymore.
No.
They're over there.
Great technique, but it does, and it's a little bit more time consuming when you try to do quite a few of them. So as Keith said, we've upgraded from that one.
Oh, just another pen thing. If we can upgrade other balloons that we do as well. Going back to the latex, forgot about it.
Why not?
Because in Sharpies we don't get white Sharpies, but we do get white. You can see this is actually a grout pen. So what I'm going to do is just give that a dab, make sure it's working, which it is, and I'm going to take our Quick Link Feminine Face,
Which
like
are
this.
rather cool.
I quite like that. And then what I'm going to do is the highlights of the eyes. At the moment, you can see on there, there's the highlights of the eyes where you get that kind of glint of the eye. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the white and we're just going to colour in those glints of the eyes. And even though there's just a tiny bit of white on there,
And it's easy because you colour it in between the space.
it makes a difference.
Do you know what I really like about that balloon?
What's that?
I like the fact that this is technically a single-sided print, but actually Qualatex have took the time to put the copyright on the back as a secondary print and not put it on the front.
Come on, be honest. Who noticed it?
All that effort to do a second print to avoid it being on the front.
Yeah.
Hats off to you, if I had a hat.
You had a hat. We have an eye patch.
Yar. But it's just those little touches that just make that subtle difference.
It is. It makes a huge difference as well when you're creating a design. You want it to look its best. And if we do that, can you guys show a perfect helium balloon bouquet balloons? Not today. We're not doing bouquets today. We're concentrating entirely on personalisation and a couple of other little bits, but personalisation is the key.
But that's certainly something we can come back to on a future episode.
Yes, along with somebody also asked us to if we could do the dog on the bracelet.
Okay.
It is a tip that we're going to come back to, the dog on the bracelet, and we know that there's a lot of people want to see what we have behind us, the photo backdrop.
The dog one we might sort of cover today, in a roundabout fashion.
We'll see. But we have a electronic photo backdrop, which we know that people have been asking about.
But photography of balloons is a bigger subject than just what we can call for within the show. So we thought we would dedicate a episode specifically to that, and really kind of pull in lots of different options and ideas. So it kind of covers that whole remit of photography, which can be a bit of a challenge for some people when they're starting out.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on from pen work.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm stealing all of the beginning part of the show with the pens and the glitter, and Dom's going to come in later on and do the rest of the stuff.
I'm okay because I've got a cup of tea and I'm quite happy to let you work.
Thanks.
Because there's more pens.
Yes.
We have more pens.
Yeah, I'm going to work on these pens. I can see them. So the next pens that we're going to use...
If you just want to pad this out until my tea's finished, that'd be great.
Pad anything out. We're going to try and pack everything in. We've already got 20 minutes down.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Right, okay, so the next one that we're going to do is glitter pens. Now these are Zig two-way glue pens, not glitter pens, glue pens. And the reason that they're two-way is that they were originally created for the scrapbooking industry. Basically, as you put the glue on, it comes out of the pen blue. And if you were to stick, say for instance, a piece of paper to that at that point, it would be stuck there permanently. That's the permanent side. If you wait, the glue actually dries, and it dries completely clear. At that point, it becomes semi-permanent, removable. So if you wanted to take in a scrapbook, you wanted to put photographs in there, you might want to take them out without damaging the photo, you would use it in that fashion. That's why it's a two-way glue pen. Also, it's acid-free, so it doesn't attack the balloons, which is very important.
However, when we're using it, it doesn't matter what state it's in.
Yes,
yeah,
that's right. When we're using it, it doesn't matter that it's a two-way. It's because we're going to be using it with glitter, and the glitter will stick to it whether it's wet or whether it's dry.
It's semi-permanent. So it means you don't have to, as you're writing or doing whatever design, you don't have to suddenly panic and think, I'm running out of time, it's drying out. No, take your time, do it nicely, and it'll stick in both conditions.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to personalise a balloon. I think we'll use that purple one. Shall we do the purple one? Actually, I'll use the big pen for that. So I want to show you brand new...
I think our general tip was when we did this the most, the more untidy your writing is, the bigger the pen you go for.
Yes.
There's 3 sizes. This is the jumbo one, this is the medium one, and then there's kind of a super fine one. I was never allowed the super fine one. I don't believe I had a glue pen license that allowed me to write with that.
No. So we have the big,
I had the chunky one.
So what we need to do is we need to activate it. So can you say that on there? No.
Why don't we bring that over?
You're going to bring this over?
Yep.
Or we're going to bring in action cam.
Ready?
I don't know.
Are
they ready?
We're in.
You sure?
Yep, we're on.
Okay, you're going to control that one? You got the power?
Okay.
So...
Let me see if I can see you. Where are you at?
I'm over here. You got me?
Never mind a pen license, a camera license.
Camera license, that would be good. Right, okay, so... With this, at the moment, you can see it's completely white on there. That means that there's no glue in that section. So what I'm doing is activating it by pushing up and down there, and you can see that the blue starts to come through. So I'm just going to keep it going like this until we have the blue coming all the way to the end.
If you store them upright as well, even once they've been activated, you might need to reactivate it to prime it before you start writing on the balloons.
You just squish, squish, squish as it goes. And now that's ready to rumble. So I'm just going to put the cap back on that while we bring in the balloon and we set up the rest of the station for working with glitter, because we need something to catch our glitter. So, will this fit into here?
We'll try.
Just too big, you know. Normally we do this on the floor, but we want to see, well, we'll do it on there. You get the idea. So this is a underbed storage tray. And what we're going to do in there is we have an old foil card, one of the big ones. If you don't have one, a piece of card is absolutely fine. Just make sure that it has a decent crease in the bottom. Now normally what we would do is we would have a few of these stacked up, one there and one there, just to do it. But for this one we're just going to show you how it works.
And the reason we use these is because we have them. So yes, you can get a bigger piece of card. Yes, you can use other items to do it. It's just that we have an abundance of these. It's a good way to kind of get a secondary use out of them.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the floor out of the way so you don't need to see that, because we're going to personalise the foil itself. So I'm going to put the foil on here, and I'm just going to hold it on the table, and I'm going to write on there, what should we write? Let's do Q corner, shall we? So we'll do a big Q like this, and then we'll do a corner. So we'll do the C-O-R-N-E-R, and then we'll do an exclamation mark like this, and then while we're filling in some space we'll do a squiggly, and then we'll do a heart shape on here.
And why not?
And why not? From there we need to pick our glitter. Now the glitter that we use is this ultra fine crafting powder. Now it's very important that you go for the ultra fine crafting powder and not normal craft glitter. Yeah, because it's too chunky. It doesn't stick nicely to the balloon. The finer the powder, the better the finish. There's lots of different colours. I mean, there's purple, which is not going to last very well on the we've got pink,
light blue. I think there's a light
blue,
pink,
and there's
green,
a sparkly
red,
white. There's lots of different colours. But we mainly when we used to do this a lot, we mainly used the silver holographic.
Yes.
It gets the best finish on the majority of the balloons, so it means we don't have to...
Works with all the colours, and it's one less choice for the customer to make.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't normally let the customer guide us on the colour choice of the glitter. We would guide them, and it's easier when you're personalising a batch of them that you're doing the same colour as opposed to kind of switching between the colours, cleaning out the tray.
Cleaning out trays or have different trays. So.
If it suits the design or a specific customer, that 1 out of the 100 that wants a particular colour, absolutely fine. However, generally we go for one colour for most of it, and that's the holographic silver, because it does look stunning.
So I'm going to throw this on here, and we're not shy with it. We throw plenty on there. Lots and lots and lots, because we're going to recover it. We put that on there, I'm going to put that on there, put that on there. I'm just going to be careful, because normally I wouldn't be doing this on the bench. But
we do also do it on an inflated balloon, because then the glitter is going onto the curve of the balloon rather than being on the flat then opening out.
So we have our nice glitter on there. So I'm going to take it. Yeah, I've got it.
Try and move with you.
I'm going to see you moving that weight. And then I'm going to aim for the card. Now normally, on here, exactly. Normally we would have multiple ones of the card done, laid out there, but I only have one, so we're going to aim for that. And we're going to take that across, aim for most of the card, and then you always get this bit at the end, and we need a little bit of a flick. So we just grab that and go flick, flick. It's like magic. And then it gives us our Q corner.
Yay! If you do get stubborn bits on the balloon, you can use just a small soft paintbrush, which will brush any pieces off. Although you'll find that the flicks will remove the majority of the excess glitter on there.
So that's personalised on there, but what we need to do is
Camera.
we need to put the glitter back into the
Pot.
back into the pot. So we take our glitter pot. Are we on close up still?
I'm going to go now.
Okay. So we take our pot, we take
Bring
the
little
top
camera
off
as
it,
well, just in case. You want to show that?
and then what we're going to do is we'll fold this up. That's why we like to have that nice folding already.
Oh, that's just going to slide on you.
And then we can just pour that back into there. So as you can see,
The majority glitter that you use goes back in.
exactly.
I mean, you do end up with it on yourself. However, if you see glitter on yourself, it normally means because you've made some money. So
Exactly.
that's not a bad sign.
Personalisation. Ka-ching. And then put that back over, seal that back up,
We're ready to go.
and we're ready to go. Okay.
Yay! Right.
Right. Okie dokie. Get rid of that tray.
May require a hoover tomorrow.
Well, we might as well do the hoovering. It's just been sitting around gathering dust. Boom, boom.
We like the jokes.
There we go. Okay.
Right.
We're still with us? Everybody
I am.
happy?
I'm still with us.
Oh, I'm still with, yeah.
Excellent.
Just so you know as well, guys, at the end of this video, we're going to be releasing, I think it's 5 videos on how to use the
is
Silhouette Cameo software.
Yes, they will be going live afterwards, but you must be subscribed
To get the
and
notification,
hit
yeah.
the notification, the little bell icon.
Subscribe, and that little bell is, it basically is, it's just because you subscribe doesn't mean that you automatically get the notifications. That's the thing.
Yes.
You must hit that bell, and it means that any time that we do anything, any time that we put out a new video or whatever, because we're going to be releasing some smaller ones,
Yeah.
you will get that notification straight away, so you don't want to miss it.
Yes. Now, which also brings me to another point as well. Our subscriber number is just not far away from something that we talked about a little while ago.
Oh dear.
So you may remember that I had to do the stupidest challenge, the accent challenge, because
Which I think you did very well, and I was very lenient with you, I have to say.
yeah, I tried hard on that, but it was tricky. Anyway, we did say when we hit 2,000 subscribers, a certain other person within the Q Corner team has to do a challenge as well.
I think these challenges are just stupid. I don't think we should have to do them. I think we should just give them up as a bad idea.
I disagree. We've already talked about it, we've already agreed, and we're so close to 2,000. So, by all means, share. If you haven't subscribed and you're just watching, please subscribe, because we need those numbers. We've got a couple of different ideas, or should I say, I've got a couple of different ideas for his his challenge. So I'd very much like to see that in the not too distant future. So once we've hit that 2,000, we shall put the
I'm sure you guys don't want to see that.
the cogs in motion and get that video filmed and uploaded.
Yeah, okay.
It's only fair.
With the 2,000,
There's no point agreeing to it now. You've already agreed to it. And we're talking to these guys because we need their help to get to. Or
we
I
don't.
to get 2,000.
I think you
so
find we don't.
we can get that done. Okay, that's what I want to do. I get it. I want to do it. Never mind.
The name, somebody just asked about the glue. The glue that we used is the Zig. It's a Zig memory stick 2-way glue. It comes in 3 different sizes. There is the large one, this is the medium one, and there's a finer one, which is really good. Oh, that was the other thing we were going to do it with. I forgot about that.
We recommend if you are getting them, the medium and the large are the ones to have. You'll use both of them probably equally as much. The finer one, not so much personally. However, I have seen some people do some amazing, beautiful work with it, highlighting and little details with that finer one.
So, going back to this one briefly, we don't need to do a whole lot of that. So, I need the medium one for this one.
Yeah, is that one alright, or do you need the new one?
I've got this one, I should be... Oh, we're fine.
Okay.
We're grand. So what I'm doing here is on this eyelid, I'm using the glue pen on the eyelid itself now. I am not taking my time because I'm kind of rushing this. We've got so much to get through. When you guys do it, you'll take far more longer time.
Oh, it is pretty forgiving though.
Yes. And then we're going to get, so on this, I'm just going to do silver.
Yep.
And we'll pop that onto there, like this. And then we'll give it a flick. And there, she's got some nice glittery eyeshadow.
the way.
I'll move that out of the way for you.
Pull that closer if I can. You can see it. Chink, 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 chink. Oh, she's so sparkly.
She's so pretty.
All that glitter sells.
Exactly. A little bit of glitter. And it's a nice addition to your female animal characters. We have the large ones also available in the air-filled 14-inch.
Yeah, and extremely minimal setup cost.
Yes.
Double glitter.
And it makes you different from the next person that's selling animal heads.
Yes.
Okay.
So that brings us to our next one. So we were offering the glitter and it was working very well for us, but what we found as our team grew was consistency was the hardest thing to achieve. The ability to have someone take a booking and then someone else fulfill that booking based on what it is they've offered, because I would say our skill levels. Certain people can't write or spell.
Yeah.
It's me.
And thank you, by the way, guys. It is so simple and it is so effective.
But the next step for us was to bring another level of professionalism, consistency, and the ability to do some more. We still do come back to the glitter because it has its place. It doesn't cost us anything to have in our inventory as a tool or product, so it's great that it's still there. However, customers have drove us to do more of the vinyl rather than doing the glitter.
Yes. Now we have, let's just move some of these balloons out of the way. The vinyl machine that our one of choice, standardly, is
see
this
there, am I right?
one. Can you see it on here?
So
if we pull this one out here,
we have the other camera.
Pretty much see it. It's all right. It's fine. I think.
Yeah, we got it.
We have the Silhouette Cameo, and we have a station that's already set up for it in our store, and it runs all the time for the personalisation.
So we have a dedicated computer for it,
Yeah.
with everything on there, easy access. It's in its own drawer with space, so it can be used within the drawer. So it means it can be cutting and running,
and safely out of the way as well. And that was the first Silhouette Cameo. We've recently upgraded, so we have two of these running now.
A second time. This is our second upgrade.
Yeah, this is the Cameo 3, which is the new one with the self-adjusting blade, which we're not overly a fan of. The self-adjusting blade takes a bit too long.
Not for our work, what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're actually asking very little of this machine in comparison to what it can actually do. The self-adjusting blade is brilliant for the crafting industry, for the balloon industry. For me, it's just time consuming, so we don't need that self-adjusting blade for the standard vinyl. Great piece of kit, just not necessary. We did actually have the Cameo 2 as well.
Yeah, we gave away on one of our tours.
We went a bit crazy and gave it away.
Yeah.
I don't recall that being the original idea.
A lady in Ireland won it as well.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
But the point with that is, though, the Cameo 1, the 2 and the 3, for what we do, all work equally. There's nothing wrong with buying a Cameo 1 now, and it would still do what we want to do. The software itself is a download, and you can still use the new software with the old machine. So it's not like you're kind of missing out on much. But just for the fact that it is a domestic machine as opposed to a professional machine, we've upgraded just because we are putting a lot of miles on our older machine, and it is a consistent tool that we use all
also
the time.
as well as that it's easy to learn how to use it, so our members of staff can use it very easily, as opposed to the next machine that we're going to show you. The last piece of
I'm
going to lift it over. This is the other machine. It's the big fella. This is our other cutting machine. Now this is the professional level one. It's the Roland GX24 Cam 1 servo, and it is a more professional level machine.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's super fast. Compared to the Silhouette Cameo, it runs at about, I think it's about 4 or 5 times the speed of the Silhouette Cameo.
Easily.
So when you're doing a lot of them, this is the machine. So when you're doing a lot of the same thing.
Yeah, we have noticed there is obviously, like anything on the market, there's the branded versions and unbranded versions, and you can get wide format cutters like this, but in an unbranded. We had one of those originally.
Yeah, we did.
And the problem that we found with it is the disconnection between the actual machine and the software and how that works. So there was
consistency as well. It didn't always cut to the same depth all the time. It was just,
there's not a lot of support out there for it as well, because you get a piece of software from one person, cut it from somebody else who just makes the machine not really interested. It just, there's not much help for it.
Also, the more professional machines require you to use other software. I mean, the Roland one has its own software. Don't think the software that comes with it is fantastic.
What it does is very well, but it is very limited in its features compared to external software.
Yeah, well, things like Corel Draw and Adobe Illustrator, which requires a lot more training and a lot more knowledge on how to use that.
You have to pay for it as well.
Yes.
And that's fine if you're going to use it for something else. However, it does mean the bill for that setup is a lot more than something like the Silhouette Cameo.
But if you're doing things like t-shirt printing, we do vinyl t-shirt printing for stag nights, hen nights, birthday parties, and small run for commercial print. So something like that is brilliant because it crosses both sides of that.
It's exceptional. Now that was one of the kind of the main machines that we had and used, and we did it for balloons a bit, not a lot, but a bit. But the reason we didn't use it a lot for balloons is because it's a wide format. You would use a lot more material to get the small piece that you want. But also, as Keith said, the software is not simplistic and it's not user-friendly. Yeah. So it did inhibit us from having our staff use it because there was so many steps to allow us to be consistent and offer something that was value for money and something that we could do while the customer was waiting if need be. And that's where the Silhouette...
The Silhouette's ideal because the software is designed for the crafting market. It's really is the ideal machine. We know there's the Cricut and there's another one which
another machine.
There's another machine, or any other machines.
Arguably, you could say that all of those three machines are as good as one another for what we're trying to achieve. It's a small format, desktop cutter, has its own software, and they are pretty intuitive to use. That's great. What I think differs with the Silhouette is the fact that it's been taken on board by industry the most.
Yeah, it's probably the most popular machine within the balloon industry, which means that there's a lot of people that can share the knowledge, how to use it, get tips and tricks. And
if you're stuck with that machine and you put a shout out, someone is going to be able to help. Whereas there's a smaller audience with the other machines, and it's not that they're any less productive or good, it's just that there's not as many people out there that can help. So it's not that we're pro one over the other one for its usability, it's just that there's more people on this particular machine.
So there's a lot of talking, so it's time to start doing. We're going to do some... Here we go. He hasn't finished his cup of tea yet. I managed to finish mine.
I did say.
Mine
was really hot though.
Yeah. It was made from the same kettle. Anyway, we have some stuff that we've already pre-cut. This is... If you want to know how to do the rounded text... like text in a circle, it's going to be on one of our videos which goes live later on tonight. So remember, be subscribed, hit the bell button to be notified when those
We didn't want to talk about the step-by-step bits for that because it's a bit more technical and it's something that you might want to do in your own time and you could do it whilst you're watching and using with your own software. So we've got those videos for you to have a play with.
We go for the simple stuff. I mean, there's simple heart shapes and presents and things that we can apply. This is a nice one that we like to do at Christmas, which is a 2-part with the holly leaves and the red dots to give us the holly, and it's so simple. But
I think one of our probably most used designs, our go-to, someone's coming in and they want something to walk away with, or perhaps one of our packages that has a pre-personalized design, so we're kind of focusing the customer down to saying this is the type of personalization you're getting. So they're not really picking the font, they're not really picking anything to do with it. All they're going to tell us is the name of who it's for and the age. And we have a template set up, so if you can see this one, obviously the yellow is going to be quite bright.
Hold it up a little bit. There we go. That's better.
So it has so it's got Stephanie, birthday, 21st, happy. Okay, so we just need to go into this template and change the name and the age.
Now this material automatically comes in roughly 30 centimeters of length, so we set it all based on a 30 centimeters square, and it means that we can price in how much it costs us per personalization, but we can also pack in, because it's obviously it's not going to come off like that and go straight onto the balloon like this. It's packed in so that you get more bang for your buck.
Yeah, so we kind of nest it all together. So we've got little embellishments, extra go-to bits and pieces that we can really kind of explore this design up. So we've had this cut and then it's been weeded. With this particular design, we add in weed lines. You can't see it, but prior to it being cut,
I haven't got it on here.
on the template we have some additional lines that run through to separate out different sections. And the reason we do that is as we weed it and pull away the backing material on it, it's not one piece we're trying to remove, it's smaller, manageable sections to make it easier to not kind of get it all stuck up. But that's something we'll show at a later date probably for adding weed lines and the like. So this particular one, I'm going to put the close-up cam on so
Close-up cam.
We're in and we'll bring us back.
I'm going to move that across there. I don't like that.
Can we see?
Move
Excellent.
that wire there.
So we've got, you can actually see,
Cut that wire over there. We've got it, I think.
very good. On here, Keith, because it shows on the camera, we've got just the score mark, and that's the weed line. So it just means when we were peeling away the backing, that's where these two parts separated. So I didn't need to worry about the next piece of text as we were moving away the excess material. We also use, to do that, this is a tool that we use. This is our preferred one because it's got a nice kind of feel to it, so it's easy to work, and we can pull away the centres of all the extra insides of the letters and the embellishments that we have on there as well. So before we put this onto the balloon, we're going to kind of explode it out. So we're going to take some scissors and we're just going to really crudely,
but still a little bit carefully,
just chop it up into the separate sections that we need. When people first start doing the nesting and join it together, they may go a little bit excessive and really force lots of items in there, but then you do spend a lot more time chopping it apart to separate it out. We use this technique on all of the 36-inch foils, and we can also do it on our 18-inch ones as well, but primarily for our 36-inch. Now, before I do it personally, I actually line it up on the desk so I can see happy 21st birthday, Stephanie, just to make sure I've got an idea of how it's going to go on the balloon. Because if you've got it in the wrong order, you might stick it onto the balloon and go, oh, actually, now it's going to cause me problems because I haven't left enough space as I'm working. So we're going to pop this one onto that 36-inch purple foil.
So we're going to do it on this one, onto the other side where we personalise one side. We're going to do it onto the opposite side.
The application tape of choice for us is this one. It is a kind of a not completely clear, but
semi-transparent.
Yeah, reasonably clear. This is it's an R tape clear, I think it's called.
Yeah, and it's the low tack as well.
Yeah, so this is the lowest tack one that that you can get. Although when it's brand new, it's still reasonably tacky. This particular piece, we just kind of chop a piece off. We have bigger pieces, smaller pieces, but it lasts many times. This will last, we've kind of said, okay, for the costing of this, we need it to last, say, 4 to 5 times. But after 30 to 40, you think, okay, it's value,
it's
value for money. If you do find for what you're doing, it's a bit sticky, you can just kind of brush it onto your top, and as it kind of picks up a little bit of the fluff off your top, it will kind of de-sticky this as well.
De-tack.
De-tack, that's a better word than de-sticky.
De-sticky.
Yeah, so we're going to start off.
Words today, guys.
It's what we do best. I'm going to take my first piece of text that I want, just place that over. Don't really mind where it's going. Just going to push it down. I'm going to grab one of our squeegees. Is a word?
It is a squeegee. These squeegees have 2 edges to them. They have a harder edge and a softer edge. Doesn't really matter for us. It's more when you're applying fine vinyl.
So I've just pushed that down to get a good adhesion. It's a real word.
That is adhesion. I like that word.
Nice. To peel the backing off, though, I turn the work over and then I peel the paper away from the backing material. So I'm going to fold that over at quite a sharp angle as well. The sharper the angle, the easier it releases the vinyl. Just go slow and steady, just in case it picks up a letter. If it does, you can just roll it back down again. Make sure it's stuck and then continue on.
You can see there, he pulled it really back at a very sharp angle. And that is vital because as it's coming back at a sharp angle, the sticker actually wants to kind of peel off itself anyway. So it's helping you with that process.
That's the release mechanism to make it a lot easier. So we now got our text, and now I can use that to line up with my balloon. Because it's clear, it makes it really easy to do. Now, I'm going to go onto the side that isn't glittered. Yep.
And what we're going to do as well, we're going to show you one of the things that we often talk about is this strip here. Now this is it's a piece of squidgy rubber material, and it means that it's just a soft pad for our balloon to push up against. No sharp edges, and it's safer for the balloon.
There's different kinds of materials that you can use, but it's very similar to the, you know, those very cheap camping roll-out mats.
Yeah.
Or a yoga mat.
Yeah, it's like a high-density foam.
Yeah. So anything like that just allows the balloon not to slip. Now, for applying this onto the balloon, our rule of thumb is if you're going to get it straight, you've got to get it straight.
It's got to be perfectly straight.
Which you can do. However, if you do it at an angle, it was always meant to be at the angle.
Jaunty angle.
Yeah.
That's what we say is we put it at a jaunty angle.
So we make an effort to make sure that it's an angle, and I'm visualising what I've got to work with so I can see happy 21st birthday, Stephanie, and you can even take the unprepared pieces and just kind of go, okay, I can fit that in there, that's going to work for me. I take the application tape and I kind of fold it back on itself so it creates a bit of a curve, so it means I can present it without the chance of it touching on the balloon where I don't want it to touch. Place it on. If you do make a mistake, you can kind of snap it away again. As long as I don't push it down or start moving it slowly, that's when it starts to stick the most. So find my position I'm happy with.
Oh, nice. I see what you did there, Dom.
Yeah. Once it's on, start working kind of from the middle and just work around each letter. So from the middle of one letter, push it out. Around so everyone can see. And that's it. So now the text is applied to the balloon. I want to remove the application tape. So the same process as we did with the paper backing. Fold it back on itself sharply. Place my fingers on. We can roll it back. And that sharp angle again helps release it. Now you can see the leading edges are starting to lift. So we just push those down and then continue on. Once you've come past that leading edge, it will normally be quite happy. Get it? Stay on the balloon.
I see what you did.
Yep.
Now the thing is as well with this particular one is that because the transfer material that we use is brand new, it is super sticky at the moment. So the more you use it, the more that it picks up bits of dust and things, and the easier that it becomes to transfer it across, because it doesn't want to stick to it quite as much. At the moment, it sticks to it.
It's kind of a balance. Brand new, you can apply it onto the back end really quickly, but it does take a little bit longer to come off the balloon. However, once it's had a few uses, it's a little bit harder to get onto the back end, but comes off the balloon easier. Now for alignment for the second layer, we take it to our first one so we can get the angle the same. So I'm just looking at the bottom of that text to get a rough angle. So now I can bring it down and find the position. I'm just going to move that up because I managed to stick that to the balloon. My backing, so bring it down about there. So I'm just checking because at this stage I can still put it up and remove it, but I'm happy. Apply it, fold it back at a sharp angle, work it back.
Look at that, happy 21st. He's doing it for my birthday, which is coming up next month, guys.
21st plus tax.
Yeah, cheers, bud.
Now, I'm working backwards and forwards here because I'm using the same piece of application tape. There's no reason why you can't have a few pieces of application tape, apply them to the separate sections, then reveal the backing, so you're not having to kind of put the balloon up and down and up and down.
Or if you're working as a team, one person can be readying the next piece while one person applies the first piece, and just keep on flipping over. So that's the way that we generally work when we're working with when we're doing this kind of thing.
If you ever do have an accident as well, when you're putting the backing paper back and rip the vinyl, the text, it's really forgiving. Push it back down again, you'll find that on the balloon itself, you're not going to see it. So I'm going to use that 21st as my guide, and then move it along, and in it goes.
Just remember as well that vinyl does have weight. So the more vinyl that we put onto it, the heavier the balloon becomes. So bear that in mind.
More noticeable on the 18-inch foils because they've got a 2 grams of lift. You'll find that it'll lift, but you'll find it'll list to one side if you put too much on one side. But for us, if somebody wants a lot of vinyl on a balloon, then that's just an excuse to show them the bigger designs.
Exactly.
It's the perfect stepping stone.
Because we always say when we're doing with it, because people say, how much can we put on there? How much text can we put on? Do you pay by letter or whatever? And it's like, no, you can put War and Peace on there if that's what you want. Just remember that the more we put on there, the smaller the writing has to become. So if you stick to a nice, concise, simple message, you get a stronger delivery of that message. And basically, it self-polices the customers so that they end up picking a shorter message, which makes it easier for us, but it's also better for them as well. It's better for them because they're going to get a better message rather than have people having to squint and say, what does that say?
It's just a nice way to be non-confrontational, but to guide them with experience, and most customers will quite happily fall into line and allow us to guide them on that.
Fall into line like that.
Nice. So again, I'm just getting my reference from that next line there. Make sure it's nicely aligned, bring it down, and then place it on. And again, just work through each letter. We're trying to get the letters flat, not this material. It doesn't matter if this has creases in, it makes no difference. It's the letters that we're trying to get. So again, this S, don't try and hit it here and here. Work around the letter to get it to sit flat. The foil itself has got a curve in it, and the vinyl will take round it to a certain extent, but you must make sure that you kind of push from the middle out or start from one end and work your way around it. So that's our text.
Which we are flying through the time as we go through on here, so we'll just chuck a couple of these on.
Yeah.
But
we're not going to stick them all on.
No, but you can see that we're going to really expand this design out if we wanted to. But you're just going to grab a couple of them swirls.
Some of these embellishments can go on like a little sticker. You can just pick them up and stick them on. Some of them have a bit more detail to them, so you do need to use the application tape. We've designed a lot of our embellishments to be simpler in the fact that we can apply them as a sticker, which just saves time of having to use that application tape. So there's one there.
That'll do, just leave it like that.
Both.
We need to move on.
Yep.
But
So
you
more
can
on
see
there.
there, and it gives us this lovely happy 21st birthday, Stephanie, with these extra swirls, these embellishments.
But look how big that design looks in comparison to the original text that we
Yeah,
did.
exactly. That's, if you do that one there, you can see there. So you can see it takes it out to a full 36 inch, especially once we start adding in all those extra details.
And also as well, if you're looking for doing some multiple colours with that, the embellishments can be in a different colour, which can be pre-cut.
Yeah.
So we have, especially for the baby type ones, we often have some pink and blue embellishments ready to go, and they're just already cut and ready. We don't need to add them into the design.
So what we're going to do next is we're going to move on to a more complicated design. So this is...
Oh, sorry. I didn't
you
really
switch
do
off?
that. No.
Okay. This
Oh, yeah.
is a far more complicated design. We're not suggesting that you do this for your customers. What we're just suggesting is this is how technical we can get. This is the Liverpool Football Club logo. So it's a full logo. It's very complicated. Now, sometimes...
Very delicate little items.
the vinyl that we use, somebody's asking about the vinyl. The vinyl that we use is a matte vinyl because it's we prefer the dull finish in the fact that when we apply it, it looks like the print on the balloon.
Yep. Personal choice. You know, it's there's matte and there's a gloss finish.
Yeah.
We've just made a choice that we went with matte, and we don't give our customers the choice between gloss or matte because then we're having to double up the range of colours. We're happy to have all the colours in because there's no real difference in cost, but we went with matte only.
If you're unsure, Silhouette do their own brand of vinyl, so it means that you can buy it from them to start off with to get used to it, knowing that you've got the right material. Then you can.
One thing we do suggest though is don't chop and change between manufacturers of vinyl. Although you don't really notice it, the micron thickness of the vinyl does vary from manufacturer to manufacturer. Nothing wrong with one or the other. It's just that you're going to set your machine up for the right pressure to cut into that material perfectly. If you start buying from different places each week, you will see that you'll have problems, that it cuts well on one, not well on another, and then you've got lots of problems to iron out. So find one that you like, good supply, reliable delivery, and work with that.
Okay, so with this particular one, because it's a very complicated design, what we're going to do is first of all we'll pick up the design. You're going to pick up the design with our backing material. This is going to go on an 18-inch foil, just so we can show you.
The application of this, especially because it's a delicate design, I'm going to curl that backing up, place it on, and work the material out, just to try and keep that backing material as flat as possible. onto our design. The older this gets, the more pressure you have to apply with the squidgy.
And then later on as well is that if it gets really old, you flip it over that way and then squeegee it on the back and to really get it to stick. And then we'll take that back and off, so we've got our design ready.
Again, just watch that leading edge to make sure everything's staying down before you get too far, because mistakes here can be rectified very easily. If you go too far too fast, you can make quite a mess of it, and then you'll have to start again.
Again, we're not suggesting that you do football clubs or anything like that. This is just to show you with a well-known design of what you can achieve with this technique.
But doing something that has a copyright to it is still possible with the permission. If you've got a company that you're working with, a corporate logo, you're going to get their permission to use it. They're going to give you a really good file to use to get a high resolution image. You can do work with football clubs we have with explicit written permission to use. As Keith said, this is just purely for a demonstration of the capabilities of what we can do with personalisation. I certainly couldn't do this with a glitter pen.
Certainly not. Right, and what now we're going to do is we're going to apply it to our 18-inch foil. This is an 18-inch round, standard 18-inch round, and it's not inflated, because when we're doing a really complicated design like this one, we want to work on the design before it's inflated. Now, also with the Qualatex foils, you'll see that it has a barcode, and that barcode is on one side. So if we flip it over, because this is going to be a single-sided application, we will choose to do it on the side that doesn't have the barcode.
That makes sense.
It makes sense. So on here, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure, first of all, that our work surface is nice and clear. Now, I've seen Chris Adamo do something similar to this.
Have you? Did you see him, or did you see him?
Yeah. So what he does is he gives a bit of a spritz with a water bottle to allow the balloon to...
I've got a little bit of tea left.
No, we don't need to do that. He does a little bit of a spritz on there with a water bottle to allow the balloon to stick to it, and it's really nice. But for us, we tend.
I think it's a particular finish of this paint that is.
Yeah, it doesn't really need it on ours. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up that foil onto there, and then from the centre, I'm just going to, using the back of my hand, push it across and allow a little bit of the static electricity to hold that balloon flat to the desk.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, Bertie, beautiful. So now that balloon is now flat on the desk, Dom can do the application of the design.
Again, the same approach. I'm going to, can we see that on the camera? Is it going to pick it up? I'm going to fold the vinyl back, so I've only got kind of one point that's going to touch first, instead of it kind of hitting. The mistake that can happen is the top edge hits, then the bottom edge, and we've got a big crease in the middle. So I'm folding it up to create a kind of a valley in the middle. Find my alignment. Just by eye, I'm happy with, because I've got the workbench to give me a straight edge to work with. And then place it on, ideally from the middle first, out over, and just work that design out. Done. And again, just use that squidgy just to...
You've got to be gentle on this, because obviously you've got a balloon underneath there.
Yeah, just kind of just a loose pressure. It just means that it's an even, consistent pressure, as opposed to me kind of having to push my hand on there. So once I've done with that, I'm happy. I can now release the backing application tape again.
Somebody's asked there as well, Dom, what are the benefits of applying it uninflated rather than inflated?
So the benefit with uninflated on a complicated design is it allows it to take around the curves, because the foil is flat.
Yes.
And even when it's inflated and it looks round, it's still flat. It hasn't stretched. It's got this curve to it. So it creates creases that you'll see around the edge of the foil. Now, the bigger this design is, and even if it went over some of those creases, the vinyl would follow all those contours of all those creases.
That's right.
The downside of doing it uninflated is you don't really get to see the viewable area easily.
No, you don't see where those creases finish.
Yeah. So here we look like we've got this really big area to work with, and quite often you feel, oh, I could put something here, but actually those are lost around the edge. So there's benefits of both ways. We generally work on inflated foils the most, because we can present it better. We're working with it. But
also, it pre-tests the foil before applying, doing all that extra work on the personalisation.
Absolutely.
But when it's a complicated design, it's far easier to work on it flat.
or if you want to create absolute consistency, perhaps a corporate logo you want to produce quite a few of, with this technique, you can also do some alignment on your bench. Now, remember...
we need to do this faster. We need to do this faster, don't, because we're running out of time. We're almost an hour anyway.
Our friend in Norway,
yeah,
he did something with a 260Q to show some alignment with a band of 260Q over the top of his foil, so it was easy to get some repetition with what he was doing. Now, this is folded completely back on itself, but you can see still let a little piece come up, so I'm just going to roll it back. I noticed it because I wasn't going too fast. Push that back down and then continue on, and that will always happen at any of those kind of very fine leading edges.
Somebody's also asked as well, they've stated that they've done this technique before and they've been gutted when the balloon has gone down after it's been done. Now, yes, we completely get that. However, as long as we've got time, which we'll stay on, don't worry, we'll stay on. We don't have homes to go to. You guys are already at home or work or whatever. Have a longer lunch break. Tell them that we said it's okay for you to have a longer lunch break.
Things to watch out for these: the smaller the piece of the vinyl is, the less surface area it's got. So as we're peeling this backing, it's likely to lift. So it's just watching all those little bits of details that you don't go too fast, so you can still place them back down. So once
Oh, have we missed that?
Oh, we have, yes. I wasn't watching. So what we've done there is, as we've lifted it, the little centre of the R and the A lifted because I wasn't watching. So I'm just going to realign those. Rather than trying to pick them off and apply them, I'm just pushing them back down to add some additional pressure to those two little points there, and just work that backing material off again. Make sure this time they stay on the foil. Like any adhesive, once it's onto the balloon, as it starts to age and dry, it'll cure and stick better. So once you've got that initial piece on...
Switch that off, switch this to the big cam again, Dom, because we'll inflate it.
Dink, dink.
So, lovely.
Beautiful.
So somebody said there as well, so now I'm just going to inflate this, got some helium, about if the balloon should fail.
And it does happen.
It does.
I'm going to say it happens when we're in a rush.
Yeah. And just have a look at that. And that gives you a perfect finish.
Beautiful. Because sometimes it's only when there's a group, so I'm working here.
Oh no, look, he's put a hole in it with the spiky object.
Oh, whoops.
You've got to be really careful with spiky objects because balloons are allergic to spiky objects.
It's true, I didn't know this.
So let's just put a little hole in that a bit more. I'm gonna so our balloon has failed.
Oh no.
Yeah, because apparently it does look fantastic, you're right, but our balloon has failed because somebody attacked it with a sharp object and some scissors.
With my weight.
So it's failed, and unfortunately we've spent all of that work doing the personalised design.
We did.
What we're going to do, Dom?
We're going to glue this one to another balloon.
Yeah.
And hope that
put another balloon inside.
The customer doesn't notice, or we could take the vinyl back off again.
We could. That's a good idea. You can take the vinyl back off again, Dom.
You can.
That's crazy talk. Did we know this? Did you know that you can remove vinyl from the machine?
Chop that valve off the bottom because it allows air.
Did you know that you can remove the vinyl from the balloon?
So we're
we
going
need to go back on
to
the
camera.
Look, we've got. Yeah, what? What? It's crazy. You're right. It is
That's
crazy.
like 5 exclamation marks. That's serious wattage. So we're just kind of squeezing out the excess helium there because we want this to be as flat as possible. We go to our trusty application tape, but it's been upgraded to be reapplication tape.
This is reapplication. Yeah,
so just the same as we took it off its original.
Is that like recycling? Is that when you have to go back on your bike?
Yeah, go back up the hill. So we're just going to.
The thing is, Cara, yeah, if you did know this, but watch what we do and see if it's different from how you've tried it, because this is the key. What you need to do is pray. Nah, I'm just joking. You don't need to pray. We're all about the science.
So we've put the application tape back onto the vinyl. Then we flip it over.
This is the important bit. It's the flipping over. Whereas normally you put it on and then a lot of people put it on and then they try to peel it back off. That doesn't work. We need to use...
Someone said nice. We haven't finished yet. Just hold them comments.
Look at that. All them exclamation marks. That's seriously nice.
Just wait until we actually are successful.
Yes. So now you peel the foil back as if it was the backing material like we did in the first place. And that's how it works. Or it should work. Actually, we're doing this live, so if it doesn't work, Dom, it's your fault. But we know this works. So you're just taking that foil off like it is the piece of the backing material, and it has exactly the same effect. Oh, can you keep that back?
Again, because I haven't gone fast, I can re-push it back down, then work that leading edge. It's just because it's a small surface area, it's just waiting to kind of stick back on again. Now I'm going to be cautious of those little extra bits that I reapplied in the A and the R, because I know I...
Oh, we're genius now! So, Cara, I'm guessing, although you tried it before, that you didn't flip it over, that is the key point. It's the most important bit of it.
A tip here. The way I'm pulling here, we've got a long leading edge, so it wants to lift over. So I'm just going to change my angle and bring it from a different direction so there's less of a leading edge, so it makes it easier for the foil backing to remove off it. So don't be afraid to kind of roll around and work from a different direction. It don't care.
Look at that. And then that's gone. There's nothing left on this. That's gone.
Let me get that.
Well, we don't need to apply it. We can show. You get
We're,
the idea.
We're pretty sure we can put that back on again. Yay! But that's ready to go. We reapplied. No harm done. But it does mean that we can. You've got the same contour as an 18-inch foil.
Thanks.
Just
I
saying.
think it's more like a 36-inch. But anyway. Right. Let's go back onto normal.
We're back. We're back.
So we like that. That's a handy tip.
Yes.
You didn't flip it. Thank you. I'll help you in the future. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys in the future. We want you guys to make more money with balloons. That's the idea, especially with personalization, because it floats our boat.
Yes.
What else should we do?
Bubbles are something I would say just a fantastic seller for us. So this is a 24-inch clear Deco Bubble, but we've double stuffed it with a 16-inch white latex. You can use the 16-inch latex, the kind of the standard and plain colours in the 20-inch and the 24-inch Deco Bubbles. It has got enough stretch in that latex. The tip for that is, just make sure that you push that latex all the way into the 24-inch. So if you're having any poppages on the 16-inch latex or the 24-inch Deco Bubble, it's because you haven't pushed that latex all the way in.
Exactly. Now we're going to use this design, which is circular text. And again, if you want to see how to lay up text, if you want to see how to do the...
We actually do that design, I think. Do we?
No, I don't think so on on this one.
But we do curved text.
We do curved text. And we also do text following a line.
Super simple.
Yeah, we do layering and all sorts of different things. So
the difference with this one compared to the yellow birthday one is we don't explode it out. To get that curve...
It goes on as a wanna.
Yeah, because it has to. Otherwise, we'll never get that perfect circle. But it does give us a little bit more of a challenge of putting it onto the balloon, especially the Deco Bubble that can't be done flat because it stretches when it inflates. So if we put that vinyl on uninflated, that balloon's going to stretch out, and it's not going to perform well at all. It's going to tear the vinyl, it's going to lift it, it's going to have a terrible look to it. So we inflate the bubble, then we put on the vinyl. So we need some application tape.
We need some more application tape. We need a piece that's big enough to do the whole thing as a wanna.
You want that, please, that?
We'll hold this there. Apparently I won't.
Good job.
It's because I'm not wearing my eye patch. Safety first. There we go. Application tape. I'm just going to take off some of the tack. You have that. I'll have this.
We're going in.
We're going to go in.
You're on. You're live.
We're live.
So make sure that it covers the whole design. I was going to use encompass.
Encompass the whole design.
Yeah, look at that.
It's big words for this time.
I know.
Look at that. Annabelle and Teddy Young, married June 6, 2018. That's coming up in a few... Where are we at now? We're at the 30th of May, aren't we?
Apparently.
Yes.
Where has this year gone?
Time flies when you're having fun. So I'm told. So again, he's just flipped it over and removing all that backing material.
I can be pretty confident with this removal because I know this is fresh application tape. So I know it's going to want to stick the application tape more than it wants to stick to the release backing.
So now we've got a mirrored finish of our design. So we're going to apply it to our bubble. Now Dom's going to use the the foam bar.
With the Deco Bubble, we've got the seam here as well. So first thing I'm going to do is place the seam onto that pad. So that I can line the balloon.
Seems fair, Dom.
Yeah.
Seems fair.
Using the valve of the bubble to make sure it's kind of facing me, so that I know that it's in this right orientation. But the bit I don't know is if it's level this way. But as my arms are pretty much the same length, I can put my fingers on the edge of those seams, and just by how my arms feel, I know when it's level. Okay, so I know now, looking at this is in the correct level orientation to me, and as I'm stood level with the bench, I've got some really good references to work with. You can spend a lot of time trying to line things up, but you've got to remember this is a balloon, and if it looks pretty straight to us, it's going to look super straight to a customer.
Exactly.
This balloon's floating and flying in the air. The chances of them noticing it's not 100% perfect, it's not going to happen.
And each one is handcrafted. Remember that.
I'm looking at getting the centre applied first. Work on that one. So I'm looking for my alignment, working on that big letter in the middle.
He's going to put this on as a wanna.
The centre of that is what I'm working on. So I'm not worrying about the rest of it. I'm just going to work that round. If it's not sitting exactly where you want it, just kind of a bit of a flick to unstick it. Don't do it slowly. It will want to stick and not come off. That little flick is what will release it. So on it goes. I'm going to work that first letter in. Back through there. Work my way around. Happy with that. Now the missus is going to crease because of the way the curve is. So I'm not going to worry about the missus just yet. I'm going to work on that part of the ampersand first. If I can't get this flat, although I don't mind creasing the backing material to get it down, I can at any stage release parts of the design. So I'm going to lift up that part of the ampersand. I'm not going to completely remove it because I need to have my reference, but I can now apply. I've got a big crease in the application tape. Doesn't matter, it's the text underneath that I'm interested in. Okay, so now I'm happy with that. I can work on part of the curve, so I can get one word going round. Just work letter by letter as I work it round. Again, don't worry about the creases in this. That's not staying on, it's coming off. And again, if you have a problem where it doesn't quite line up, just allow it to crease. Push it down, work round, and it gives a bit of a rejig to the circle, but it still looks a beautiful straightforward circle. That dot's going to cause me a problem, so I'm going to leave the dot, let that release down, then fold the A underneath. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to do the same down here. Again, it's stuck down. I'm not particularly happy, so a bit of a flick to release it. And work on the date. Round you go. Again, married. Look how creased this is going to be. But just straighten it out. Start with one of the letters. I need to release that J there first. Peel back and we see that for the June. Let that release, so I'm not causing a problem with that. Now I can work on the next word.
There's loads of creases in the backing material.
Yeah.
Makes no difference because, like Dom said, the backing material isn't staying on. It's the letters. See all these creases that are on here.
These
Makes
dots
no difference.
here as well. We've put these in. Yes, it's a little feature, but we actually use these as reference marks. For we had some little
Embellishments.
yeah, they look like little diamond embellishments. They were cheap plastic, but they look phenomenal. So same thing for removal. Work that backing tape away, nice sharp angle. Again, don't be afraid to change the angle to give you a better motion. Working on each word as you go. See, it's lifted the letters. I haven't gone fast, so I haven't caused any damage. Roll it back and just re-release it. Of course, I would say it's probably less easy with a camera poked on where I'm working, but you know, just saying.
What you said, Dom?
Hi, boys.
We make it look easy. No, it really is this easy, honestly. A 3-year-old could do this with 20 years of experience. It's true.
Once it's removed, just go over gently with your finger just to make sure you put a little bit of pressure on. And you can see here the A's got that little crease. So I just work my fingernail over it to push that crease out before I push it down. The common mistake is people kind of just rub over it and then it pushes a crease into it.
Forces that crease into
Yeah.
a pinch point.
If you really do have a situation with a crease and you can't resolve it, if you just put a little relief cut in, you can actually slide the scissors in and just cut the vinyl and allow them to overlap. You will see it, absolutely, no one else will.
Nobody else will.
So that is our...
That's OnArt as a winner. And it's a beautiful design as well. We're using circular text. Again, you can follow along with that in the video.
Yeah, it's easy to do when you put it on in one. When you're trying to do it
massively over time here, so I know that's unusual for us to run over time, but this is...
Sorry.
Are you guys having fun? Yeah, are you still having fun? Because if you're still having fun, we'll continue. Yes, you're having fun. Excellent.
Okay,
right.
Move on.
So what we're going to do next is... What's that?
So have you tried making cuts around the edge to help keep the creases out? Does it mess up the alignment? We find when it's got cuts in, and we have tried that, the application tape tends to drop and touch on the balloon in places we don't want it to. Allowing this to crease, this can be creased all it like, it doesn't matter. But again, like anything that we do, there's no particular right way or wrong way. If you want to give it a go and try it and it works better for you, brilliant.
This is just stuff that works for us. We find that we do it in our own business almost every day, you know, and that's the important bit. It's what works for you in your own business.
Exactly, absolutely.
So next we're going to do layering. Now in the videos,
yes,
which probably is live already now, you will see how to create layered text. Now, sorry, layered designs. And on this one we're going to do 3 colours because we're doing eyes. And this one we're going to do blue eyes. Eyes.
Focus on eyes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to have a 3 colour. Now this could be a logo. It could be a company's logo with 3 colours, or if you've seen the stuff that we've done before, we did with the World Balloon Convention, which was a 5 or 6 colour logo.
And sometimes we do something as simple as just a name, but it's got an outline to it, so it's 2 layers of colour. And we often do that on the 22-inch message bubbles. They're a really good seller for us, and we do some very simple but out the door fast designs.
Putting the name and an age on it.
Yeah, and it's as simple as that. Now, sometimes, because the design on the balloon is a bit busier, because it's a license or it's just a very fun balloon.
It's full on. They don't have spare space for those for that personalisation.
The particular market, it works perfectly, but a name just cut out on vinyl does not stand out like we want it to.
No, it doesn't. You put it on there in single colour, you won't see it on there. It'll just fade. So you need to have, you know, usually if it's a darker bubble, you'll put a nice white outline on there, or a bright yellow,
so it's
or
like
something.
A shadow you'd put on the text and anything else. So that works really well for that. Brilliant technique, simple, but we do have to use the layering technique to be able to align it, because trying to put those 2 together is tricky for a lot of people, us included. So we try to keep it as simple as possible, and this is the method we use. So we'll go back up to close up.
So we have the black on there to start off with, and then we're going to end up, that's the black.
We're doing the reverse order because we pick up our first one first.
Yeah, we're going to have blue first, picking up blue.
So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up this blue, and then we're going to apply it onto the backing of the black, because we're going to create a sticker, essentially. So take our top layer, so blue, we're going to pick it up, and we're also going to pick up not only the design, but 2 registration marks. So we've got 2 crosses for this.
Yeah, if you want to know more about registration marks and things, again, follow our design, our free video, which is on our channel. There's now a playlist available, which is all the silhouette videos, and it shows you how to do layering and how to create registration marks that we're using right here.
We have those registration marks. We opt for is a cross rather than a circle. The reason being is we're going to align these now. So
it gives you that 2 axis.
So if you look over there, I've got one cross that I'm trying to align with the other one. If that was a circle, that would be impossible. But because I've got the cross, and they don't have to be 100% perfect, but all I'm looking for is the 2 crosses to roughly align over each other. Once they're aligned, I can allow the rest of the material just to drop down, because they're in the same reference area as the black ones to the backing, so they should align in the correct area. Specifically important for a corporate logo.
You can see there's a little shadow there on the registration marks, but it's not important. It's not that important on these particular designs.
The more complicated the design, the more accurate you might want to be. However, that kind of resolution on this kind of design on the type of balloon is going to go on, you would not notice.
It's absolutely fine. Registration marks are lifting, so we need to make sure that they stick down, because we don't want to lose them, because we've got another layer to add.
The reason we generally use 2 registration marks as well is it does make it easy to do. Also, if we do lose one, we still have 1 to work with. Don't be afraid if you've got some space. There's no reason you couldn't use 3. You can ignore them as you're working and just focus on 1 or 2. However, if you do lose one, you've got a backup.
So now we have our white. We're going to pick up the white.
It's all white.
Looks all white to me. This is going to go down on record as our longest show ever. I said we were going to aim for 45 minutes.
I knew when you said it that it was not going to go well. Truth be known, this could go on for a lot longer.
Yeah, we could do this all day because personalisation is such a big part of our business.
So, with my haste, I managed to kind of get some creases in that, but it should still be fine.
Yeah, use your screen.
I'm just hiding it.
Yeah, because they lifted up on the first time when he removed it. So what he's doing now is he's trying to get all them air bubbles out, or as much of them as possible, so that it's not affected so much.
Same thing now. I'm just going to use those white reference marks. With my little fingers here, I'm pushing up the rest of the material so it's not touching. I'm only going to get those crosses on first, as close as I can get them. Ding, ding, ding. On they go. I'll let the rest of the material just roll down. Now, if you're applying this to a design, you're going to take the backing material away from the application tape. If you're pre-doing these, as we do, is leave them on the backing and then peel away the application tape.
If it wants to.
If it wants to. This helps it stick to the backing material. If you remove it from the backing material, they don't generally want to sit back on the backing material. They'll come off really easily. So if you're pre-doing these, this is the best way to leave them. You can leave the backing material on top of it, but it does tend to want to kind of set a bit. Don't worry that the reference mark is going, because we actually want to remove those, because they don't need to be applied.
Leave that one as well.
Because the backing of this black is really big and round, it actually means you can take these off and they can be used as a sticker, so you can just kind of go, ooh.
Let's have a go on this one.
What's wrong with that?
Oh.
This is also waxing 101 courtesy of Q Corner. So this won't work perfectly on here because this is a big flat surface of vinyl that's trying to go around a contour.
Keep them close.
Yeah, so we're going to go here. Let's see if we can work that round.
If you're going onto a rounder surface as well, what you can do is, if you have a hairdryer, you can warm up the vinyl, because if you've ever seen anybody do sign vinyl or vehicle wraps, what they do is they use a heat gun on the vinyl, and it makes it super stretchy, so it goes all into all the nooks and crannies, but you've got to heat it up. So be aware of that, but also be aware that it's a balloon, so don't heat it up too much.
One thing you can do is put some relief cuts in. However, for something like this, I'm using my finger and rubbing it onto that vinyl, so I'm starting at one edge and I'm rubbing it. That is creating friction between my finger and the vinyl that essentially is giving it some heat. So it means I can actually do what the heat gun would do, but on a kind of a smaller, more delicate. But it has its limitations in comparison to a heat gun. So you can see the crease is going to form here.
Oh, show the relief cut.
Okay, so
yeah, he could do this with his finger. However, we want to show you if you're going to do a relief cut.
If you can't get the scissors in, just got it that way. You do have to be careful with this.
Yeah, spike your object near a balloon.
Don't do what I did with the foil. Just bring it in underneath and just help lift that up. I wouldn't normally push that down quite so much if we were going to do the relief. But just a sharp pair of scissors and just put a little snip in, and it allows it to overlap itself. I mean, on this one, like you said, we didn't need to do it, but just to show you a little cut. And if you knew you were going to have a design that was going to cause a problem, you could do the cut earlier and do it somewhere where it's less noticeable, you know, on the black, allow that to overlap. But anything like this, just a little bit of heat with your finger, work its way around. It's a really nice finish. But that is, I see you.
There we go. So eyes, and it means that we can do brown eyes, green eyes, whatever colour eyes. It's whatever colour eyes you want.
But this particular design was done as a small one to go onto 11-inch latex head, but they can be scaled up because it's using a computer and some software. You can scale it. You're not looking at a sticker that you're going to go, oh, they're not the right size, and you're building a design to the sticker. You're creating the sticker to your design, so it's got a lot more flexibility.
Right, switch this cam off again, Dom.
Bye, camera.
Bye, Cam.
Great job, Cam.
Exactly. So, what else do we have? We had we're going to show you with Chrome as well, but we won't. So we're massively over. We've done like an hour and 25.
Oh my goodness.
We were also going to show you some stuff about the Balloon Dog Challenge, which I don't think we've got time for that. So what we might do is we might do another video separately for the Balloon Dog.
We've got 1 minute.
We've got 1 minute. We're going to do the Balloon Dog Challenge. Okay, well, first of all, we want to show you something about this. Can we do that? We'll just do it all from here now.
Yeah. So what do you want to show
There's an event coming up in October.
Oh, yes.
It's an amazing event. It's OnArt. So what I want you to do is, if you watch this, that'll be awesome. And there we go. That was OnArt, which is in Barcelona, October the 5th to the 7th.
Going back to my accent challenge.
Not the accent challenge. Yeah, I will be there teaching
something.
Bubble Mania, all about bubbles and balloon characters. We do a lot of balloon characters. We do a lot of bubbles within our retail business and also in our decor business. So if you want to come along, I'm doing classes there. But what else as well?
All the information is on
the website, which is OnArt. Which one is it? It's OnArt Event. It's on there at the bottom as well. OnArtEvent.com. You can go on there. You can have a look at the instructors. There's Edward Munoz coming over from the States. We've got Andre, Miguel. We've got Tony. We have who else we got on there?
I'm not letting you cheat. If you don't remember who you're going to see.
Yeah, there's Volta. There's Tanya.
It's all in Spanish, yeah?
No, it's not all in Spanish. Although I will be doing mine in English, and if
not
it's
Spanish.
Not in Spanish, no. Also, if it's truly an international event now, so if you go along, don't worry if you think it's all going to be in Spanish. It's not, because the Spanish instructors will be translated into English.
Which is fantastic, because not all events are like that.
And the English instructors will be translated into Spanish.
Excellent. So,
so
pretty good.
It will be an awesome event, and it's in Barcelona.
All the information on that. I believe you book it from the website as well.
Yep, all on the website. You can do it all through there.
So loads of details on that one.
Okay,
Yay.
right. Okay, we've seen a thing on the internet at the moment, which is the Balloon Dog Challenge. You don't know if you guys seen it, but we have the Balloon Dog Challenge as hashtag Balloon Dog Challenge, and it's about making
Balloon dog.
a balloon dog blindfolded. Ha ha!
Q's in the name.
Blindfolded.
Are you?
I'm not going to put it on properly yet because I don't trust you. Okay, so these are handy blindfolds that were donated to us by British Airways. Thanks, BA.
There are other airlines.
Yeah, there are other airlines. These ones are BA ones. And what you have to do is you have to make a balloon dog blindfolded.
Oh, 1 second.
You can't cut eye holes in your... No, it's not going to work, though. You've got to use a blindfolded. We've got to do this quickly.
It didn't say.
Right.
We couldn't. Are we allowed to inflate them first?
Yeah, let's inflate it first.
Or do you have to inflate
No,
them
you
blindfolded?
don't have to do it blindfolded. So we'll inflate the balloon. So 260Q. And there was a guy that did it blindfolded, and I believe his speed was 13 seconds. We're not going to go for a record. We're not going to time this at all.
I think by judging the length of this show, speed is not our thing.
Not on this, but so we're not going to. We're just going to have so fun with it. But if you want to have a go at it, please have a go and then share it on the Mr. Q Facebook page.
And hashtag it with hashtag Balloon Dog Challenge.
And also, if you hashtag Q Corner,
Yes.
that would be awesome. We get to see it too, and we might feature some later on.
Yes.
That'd be good. We'll do it in strange locations or whatever. That'd be interesting. On an escalator. No, don't wear a blindfold on an escalator. That's a bad idea. Don't do
I
that.
can't believe you suggested that.
Yes.
I can't.
That's a disclaimer. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. But it'll be really funny. But don't do it.
Unless you got
Don't
like
do it.
a carer with you to look after you to make sure nothing happens.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do blindfolds on.
I'm going to make sure the balloon I'm facing.
Yeah, okay,
This
I'm
is
going to have this.
Oh yeah,
Here we
go on air live with the blindfold on. 'cause
Yeah,
that-
absolutely.
So, here it goes.
Here we go.
Oh my-
Ready?
1 second. Ow!
Right, okay.
We don't
Blindfolds on.
we don't have a beep on this.
Right,
and I
okay,
almost
here we
made
go.
a
Ready?
mistake.
Blindfolds on. Okay. Dog. Dom. Not a 3-twist dog either. It's got to be a decent poodle.
Okay. So
Okay. Blind. Stop it. 3, 2, 1. Begin. Okay. So we need one of them. We need one of them. We need another one of those. We need one of those. I need that.
What colour's mine again?
And 2 of them. A
Is your
sword. You
blindfold
want a
still-
sword.
Is your blindfold still on? I don't trust you.
My blindfold is still on. Watch the video back.
Is the audience still here?
Look, there we go. A balloon dog. No, not quite. Okay,
don't-
so if I twist that bit around there, and if I twist that bit around.
There's got to be
Oh
easy
no!
ways.
I had a bubble fall out on the middle of it.
Isn't there an easy way to make a living?
One of them. One of them. One of them.
Oh my
I
goodness.
think this has gone horribly wrong because I was being silly. It has gone horribly wrong because I was being silly. I have to twist that. Ah!
Right.
One of them. One of them.
I'm done. I'm
One
done.
of them. I'm not.
Yay!
because I was Stupid.
That's
with
how I saw it in
Has
my
got a
mind's eye.
bubble?
It has got a bubble.
There.
What? You made a giraffe.
Let's have a look.
I'm quite proud of my dog.
Oh. There we go.
In fact, I should do more work blindfolded.
Yeah, so that's the Balloon Dog Challenge. Hashtag Balloon Dog Challenge. Do it. Please put it on the Mr. Q Facebook
Yes,
page.
please, yes.
That would be awesome.
Don't forget to share so we get subscribers to get us over the 2,000. Please.
Don't do the 2,000.
Very much like that.
I
Very
think we
much
should cap it
appreciated.
at 1,999 subscribers
No,
only.
not at all. But thank you very much for staying with us for this extended episode.
Epically long episode of 1 hour and 33 minutes.
Q Corner vinyl special with hours and hours more worth of material. However, we did discuss when doing this that we may revisit this, talking about the silhouette itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a kind of a special extra episode that we'll do. Don't know when we'll squeeze it in, but to go through
Software and all the setup and everything else actually regarding the silhouette side for those that people do it. I think we'll do it as a separate show.
Yes.
Not on our normal show, but we'll do it. If you've enjoyed it, please like.
give it a
come back.
thumbs up.
Also, come back and send and put a comment on because the live comments don't last full time. It would be better if you came back once this video is republished and leave a comment because it really appreciated.
Yes.
Also, if you want to leave a comment on the Mr. Q Facebook page, we would really appreciate
Absolutely.
it, and so would Qualatex.
Yes, so Other than that, unless we've got another 35 minutes, thanks for watching.
Guys, it's been emotional. Go and make yourself some money with personalisation. Oh, stay there. Dom, talk one moment. I've got to show them something. One more thing.
Oh, yeah, great, yeah.
I've got to go.
Yeah. Don't forget to use the Qualatex Facebook group to ask questions, because if you're stuck, jump on there. Use the Mr. Q page if you need to get in touch with us. We're more than happy to guide you and direct you into the right way to get the right answer. Oh, yes, something else we use it for. I didn't even know what you were for.
One of the other things that we do personalisation on are champagne glasses.
Yay!
Now, these are great for little photo shoots.
1 second.
These ones.
Can we get this
Can we
one?
do that one?
We got this all camera. No, we haven't got the close-up camera.
No, don't worry about it. It's fine.
No.
But they are personalised. This is with prom glasses for this season.
Same machine, same vinyl, same technique.
Same application, the whole thing. But it's just another way of using the machine and making money. And then what we do is we do it
with your balloon decor, though, coordinating that through.
And we do it with the package. So if you get one of these, you buy the glass, and then we do a Deco Bubble piece.
The Deco Bubbles work perfect.
Yeah, all personalised up and everything. And you buy it as a package, and it's our prom package.
For us in the UK, proms are very much about the pre-photos that are going on. The glasses and the balloons are perfect for that. Have the photos taken.
I mean, they're not dishwasher safe by any means, but the thing is that
it's not what it's for.
Really
it's a prop that's going to be used for photographs, something to remember that date for. So it's just a nice way to kind of complement what you already do.
You've got the balloon dog challenge still on there. Get that off.
Oh, buying balloon dog challenge.
Yes,
everyone knows that hashtag.
Prom.
Yay!
Right, we are going this time.
Yeah, we're done. We're finished. Been fantastic. We shall see you on the next Q Corner Showtime, but I'm sure there'll be something in between. So
enjoy the other videos regarding the Silhouette Studio. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you liked about this show. Tell us what you want to see in the future.
Yeah, there's something else you want to see, give us a shout. Thanks for now.
Okay, thanks for watching.